Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua. Let's talk about the Ministry of Gourmand line from Paris Corner. I think they've been doing some amazing works when it comes to Paris Corner in general, particularly the Ministry of Gourmand. I think I love the speculoos, tiramisu speculoos, the banana blaze. My favorites being the mango huguso and coconut lagoon is not bad. I'm really warming up to coconut, lagoon as well. And I just wanted to pick up the latest releases, just because it's part of the Ministry of Gourmand, and I thought, I was thinking it was going to be as good. We have the creamy biscuit, the House of Siage bottle lookalikes, the creamy biscuit, and then Cake Temptation. These two fragrances, I just love the bottles. They look like very pretty, just pretty bottles, with the cupcake, House of Siage lookalike bottles, But I have a little word for Paris Corner, if ever they even watch me or listen to me, which I doubt. So I love Paris Corner, but I think Paris Corner needs to slow down. I mean, just cool down, because these two are not it. They are not it at all. Considering that you released the Mango Huguso and the Lagoon like a couple of weeks ago, like 3 or so weeks, back, and immediately following up with these two. And maybe they are just rushing these things out, and I don't think these two fragrances are it. One of them is the most synthetic fragrance I have smelled for the year, hands down, and the other is quite similar to another one in the same Ministry of Gourmand, line. So let me give you the details here. I hope nobody's offended by this. I'm just giving you my thorough, honest, subjective, reviews about these two fragrances. So let me start off with the Cake Temptation, because I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards that particular one because it's cake, and for those who are into realistic edible gourmands, I think they would rather pick Cake Temptation over the biscuits, creamy biscuits. So Cake Temptation has the following notes. It has fruity gourmand and then red berries at the top. I think they mixed like notes and even accords, together. So that is what it has at the top. In the middle, we have milk, fruity, and then toasted. And then at the base, we have sweet and then fruity. That is what it says for Cake Temptation. So, well, at the initial, to be fair, it is very new. As a matter of fact, I received this fragrance yesterday, so it is like new to me. So I'm not going to say it is like something I've played with, but sometimes when you spray fragrances, you can know the direction, or what to expect. I know maturation is going to play a very, integral role here, but the first impression, I'm not impressed. This Cake Temptation here doesn't smell like cake to me at all. I don't get anything cakey. The first brush is going to give you something like an intense gourmand with the heavy presence of the red berries. The red berries are it's very sharp. I'm presuming it's raspberry. It gives me more of a raspberry vibes, So I would say the red berries they are referring to here is raspberry. That is what I personally get. It comes across as the most dominant note. That is what I get, for the most part, the red berries, which I presume is raspberry. And it is very synthetic. It is very sharp. It is very intense. It gives me a headache. This fragrance is giving me a terrible headache. It's very synthetic. Like, everything about it is like synthetic on steroids. That is basically what this is. I don't get any milky, I get the fruit. I get the raspberry fruity thing. I don't get the milk. Of course, I get the gourmand, which is supposed to be an accord, but they've listed it as a note. I get the sweet. It is intensely sweet, sweet to the extent of being sickeningly sweet, coupled with that synthetic red berries, which is like the most, in your face dominant thing you're going to smell as soon as you spray this. I don't know what to make out of it. However, this one smells very similar to a fragrance I've been praising on this channel for a while. A fragrance from Al Rehab, Spanish Vanilla. I don't know if they were going after Spanish vanilla, which I'm not sure what Spanish vanilla by itself is inspired by. I know Ari Hub for the most part do original fragrances, so probably it's an original creation. If it is not, then probably Ari Hub Spanish vanilla and this were inspired by something I'm not aware of. So it is very similar to Spanish vanilla scent wise. However, this is more synthetic, more screechy, more cheap smelling as compared to Spanish vanilla, which I already, I've spoken about several here. I preferred my Spanish vanilla a lot more than this, although to my nose, they smell very similarly. I've always said this is all about vanilla and then raspberry. That is what essentially it is. And you can tell by the dates that I really enjoy this fragrance. It is very similar. The Cake Temptation by Paris Corner gives me a very, not even a similar vibe. They smell very identical. However, I think this one is like very synthetic. It smells like the cheaper synthetic, version of Spanish vanilla. And Spanish vanilla had a little bit of, a harsh opening. However, it settled down and it's very beautiful. But this, as soon as I sprayed it, it gave me like a sharp piercing, went straight into my nose, straight to the back of my head. The raspberry or the red berries, whatever red berries that they have in this one, is not it. So I would say I'm still going to give it the benefit of doubt and let it go through the process of aging and maceration and whatever it is. But first impressions, if you remember Tiramisu, Speculous, and Banana Blaze, I just did my, I did the unboxing here and it was like love, love at first sniff, but this is not, this is not. I've played with it throughout the day and I'm still not finding anything appealing, as such about it. I'm just getting the sharp, syrupy, thick, it's like a sharp, candied raspberry, red berry sort of thing. And it's very synthetic. Whatever compounds or ingredients that they use is like very synthetic and harsh, so that is going to be my sort of first, second reaction or whatever it is. But I've been just spraying and reapplying this just to see how it's worse, but I'm still not getting a favorable favorable outcome. For now, that is what I'm going to say. So I would say it is very similar to Spanish vanilla, but Spanish vanilla is like the better alternative if you can find it. Is the better alternative. They smell about 95%, but this is like on steroids, in a very bad way, at least to my nose. So that is going to be Cake Temptation. I'm going to go with the second one here, which is the Creamy Biscuit, the Creamy Biscuit. And this is also quite similar to another fragrance that is already in existence when it comes to the Ministry of Gourmand line. And when it comes to this, the notes are at the top. We have biscuit. It didn't say what type of biscuit. It just says biscuit at the top. It says coconut and then cream in the middle. And then at the base, we have vanilla, sugar, and then tonka bean. So this is the better one of the two. This is the better one. The cake, the creamy biscuit is the better one of the two. Do I smell biscuit? Not necessarily. It doesn't remind me of any biscuit that I know of, I'm not saying I know of every single biscuit, but it doesn't give me any biscuity, doughy accord. It doesn't give me anything like that. What this reminds me heavily is going to be the Tiramisu Speculous. It has that same cake batter, that's and baked, when you mix the ingredients for cake, that sort of batter, that thing, it has a very similar feel to tiramisu in terms of that cake batter feel I associate with tiramisu speculous, minus the cinnamon or the speculous aspect of tiramisu. It gives me a very similar vibe. They could be flankers. If they had released this as a flanker to tiramisu speculous, I would have been okay with that, with the idea of it being a flanker to the tiramisu speculous, but because I think they are quite a little too similar for this to be in another series, I don't know what they were trying to do with this. This is the better one of the two, in my opinion. It is not bad. This actually is not bad at all because it smells quite similar to tiramisu speculoos, just that I feel it's been done already by the same house in the same line, the Ministry of Gourmand line. So there was no need for this, in the line. But the fragrance by itself is beautiful. But even I think of between this and tiramisu speculoos, I prefer tiramisu speculoos. I prefer that a lot more. It is also early days, but from the onset, I loved tiramisu speculoos. But this, I know I'll warm up to it, eventually, because it's very similar to it. So it's like a backup bottle of tiramisu speculoos in a way, to me. So I guess for like Paris Corner should have just taken their time either to bring out something a little more creative. I know they are trying to be creative with the bottles and everything, but I think sometimes they should just take their time, in as much as a lot of people are anticipating the Ministry of Gourmand line and other, releases. I think they shouldn't also take us for granted, because these two, Cake Temptation and Creamy Biscuit, these two necessarily, and I'm not impressed as much as I was impressed with the previous two. As a matter of fact, I love the mango huguso so much. I'm not saying this to be negative towards the brand aroma concept of Paris Corner. I love them. I support them. I've never received anything from them for free, but I still buy, and I talk about them with like subjectively. I guess tell people what I think, my opinion. I don't sugarcoat anything when it comes to fragrances, because who am I sugarcoating to? If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. As you may be aware, I've been a great fan of the Mango Huguso. I think it's one of the best, fragrances I've smelled in a very long time. Designer niche, Middle Eastern. It's like a good fragrance. This, but on its, on its own, it's a phenomenal fragrance. It's a mango done right. It's not. It's a very polished, sophisticated mango scent. And as a matter of fact, I love it so much to the extent that I've gone to buy a backup bottle of mango huguso just because I don't want to run out of this, or I just want to be able to use this liberally and then be able to at least have something, as a backup bottle. This is the only, I think, one of the very few fragrances I've bought a backup bottle of in a very long time. So it should tell you how much I love this. However, when it comes to these two Cake Temptation and its sister, I think it's not only is it underwhelming, especially with the creamy biscuits, because it smells similar to tiramisu, so it's quite underwhelming to me because I've smelled that from the same the same brand, the same line, and the Cake Temptation really is not giving me the gourmand I was looking for. They both come across as gourmand, but I think more, I guess, a little tweak here and there would have, finalized these two fragrances. But for now, they are not it, this and the other one, they are not it. I don't know how well I can describe them, but I think Paris Corner should have, taken their time, just slowed down a bit, because we are not going anywhere. We are here with them, the releases can come. I think they should just take their time and, give us something, because we actually pay for these fragrances, even if the influencers are telling you they are good or whatever it is, and you as an individual watching, you go buy it with your money and it doesn't turn out to be a good one, it's just like disappointing. So I would say Paris Corner, if you ever come across this video, which I doubt you would, please take your time, take your time. Do, you are creative. Paris Corner, you are creative, but take your time and give us something worth, our while and money. And I think that is going to be it for today. I'm definitely going to be bringing you some updates. I'm definitely going to bring you several updates about this. My expectation is been I'm not really wild, but I hope after a while it changes into something. But for now, it is just a mess. No, these two for me, especially the cake Temptation, is like a hot mess to me. So that is going to be it for now, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.